Hello! So today we're going to see how to bring your own model, like Mistral for instance, to be able to build a custom agent for M365 Copilot. So I am currently inside VS Code for that. I'm going to use the Microsoft 365 Agent Toolkit, where you can create a new agent or app. So I'm going to create a new agent. It will be a custom engine agent because I would like to provide my own model. Also, I would like to be in control of the orchestration part. So I'm going to use this option. Then you see that you have two options, either a basic template or a more advanced one. I'm going to use a basic template. And then two options, either you use directly OpenAI or you would like to use Azure OpenAI. So Azure OpenAI is very close to what I like to do because I would like to take Mistral being deployed in Azure AI Foundry and be able then to connect that to M365 Copilot. So let's start with Azure OpenAI, and it's going to ask the question I need anyway. So one of the question is, can you provide me the key? So I have been deploying Mistral inside AI Foundry. So I'm going to copy paste the key there and put that inside Agent Toolkit. Then he asks for the endpoint, which is there. Okay, the endpoint is over there. So I'm going to just copy this one /model. Here it is. And now he asks for the deployment name or the name of the model, which is Mistral Large 2411. Last, he asks for the language, where I would like to create the project, and I'm going to call it Mistral AI. So it's going to scaffold a new project. If you look to the source code being generated there, you can see that you have a code that normally is being designed to use the Azure OpenAI SDK, which is not what I need to do because I need to use the inference SDK in my case. So if you go into the doc of AI Foundry and you switch to JavaScript, because this is the language I decided to use, you see that it's going to provide you some detail on how to call the model. So if we are going back inside the project there, I have many options. So I'm going to switch to Claude Sonnet 4. I can use some MCPs if I like to. So I'm currently using many FCP. I don't need to deploy to Azure for now, so I'm going to remove most of them. But you see that I've got the Microsoft Learn MCP server that could be useful because I could say, like, please check with the doc to be sure to update the source code properly. So this is one option. And another thing that you can do simply is, I have a very simple prompt there because I'm lazy. I could do that myself, but I say, like, please update this file using the source code provided below. So let's copy paste just what we need, which is up to there, a basic sample with a dependency for Node.js. So I'm going to copy paste that there, and we're going to let the agent do its work, and we'll see again in a few seconds. Okay, so it looks like he managed to do its homework. So I'm going to keep the file. I'm going to trust the AI. Let's check what it did in the agent.js file. So it switched to the proper SDK. It's going to reuse my endpoint that I've defined at the beginning and the key, to be able to build the credential. And then it switched for the activity when I will receive a message from Teams or Copilot to be able to simply do the call and send back the answer to the user. Okay, so now to give it a try, you have various options. Let's start with debugging into the Microsoft 365 Agent Playground, because this one doesn't need to deploy anything to the tenant. So it's really going to simulate the fact that you are in Teams or in Copilot and check that I can call my model in Foundry. So I'm going to run it. It's going to install it the first time I'm going to call it. And then it should open the browser, okay? And now if I'm asking a question, for instance, I can directly, what LLM model you're running on, for instance, and I hope it will be able to connect Mistral LLM from Foundry, and the model itself should be self-aware of who decided to build it. And you see this is what is going to answer. I'm running, I was developed by Mistral AI. So it's kind of a proof for you that I'm really using Mistral AI from Foundry inside the simulator for now. But now if I'm stopping the debugging, and now I'm going to show you how easy it is to test that now in Copilot. So I'm going to preview in Copilot inside Edge. For that, you need to be sure that you are logged on the M365 tenant. So either you create a free Microsoft 365 dev tenant or you use your own tenant, but you need to have the sideloading enabled. So once you're sure about that, you can press F5. Now, Agent Toolkit is doing more work for you because it needs to create specific package. So it will create a manifest for you. It will then zip everything required. It will call specific APIs to prepare the sideloading. And then there is like 8 different steps you can check, to be sure that to understand what it's doing for you. And then you should open the browser directly inside Copilot. And I should be able to ask the very same question to Copilot. So let's wait for it. We are almost there. Okay, now it should open my Copilot instance with my credential. Okay, so you see I am inside my agent, which is a Mistral, which is different from the normal Copilots. So now I can ask, for instance, what LLM model you're running on. And I should have, of course, the very same type of answer. So yes, you could have kind of a small delay to have it answering your question. So let's wait for it. I think it's still processing it. Okay, here it is. You have the answer. I'm running on a large model language developed by Mistral AI. So now, in which case it could be interesting for you to do that. Let's imagine you like to have a specific model for a specific need or a specific task. You can use M365 Copilot to use, GPT, even GPT-5 today to do most of the work, search for your documentation email inside the M365 tenant. But let's imagine you like to do a specific task because the model is better than GPT on specific tasks. It could be, healthcare or whatever. Then you can build your own agent with your model, still being managed by Foundry if you like, and make it available inside M365 Copilot. So this is how easy it is today to create your own agent with your own model from Foundry and to expose that into M365 Copilot. Thanks for listening.